that if you can see that. So I'm at a lake house, and one of my favorite places, with my sister and her family and my family. And so we are hoping that this will come through and not be in too broken up or glitchy, because it's not my usual streaming spot. So I'm Philly. Thank you for joining. And we are going to be testing out, well, actually not testing out, I kind of lie, although we're doing some testing. But we are going to be trying out 3 different ramen recipes. And that we, at our family, we've tried 2 of them. So one of them will be brand new. But what I'm trying with 2 of the ones that I've already tried before is I'm trying them, I'm adjusting a bit. So one of the ramen recipes that I'm going to be starting off with, I've made regular. However, my sister's gluten-free, so I'm going to kind of do a hack on that using rice noodles instead of the regular ramen noodles, which of course have gluten in them. And then the other one I'm going to adjust is a ramen recipe that for my niece who's vegan, and that way I chose a vegan ramen as a base for that. And we're going to leave the egg off. So everything below will give you all the ingredients, all the recipes. I do want to recognize the TikTokers that developed this craze, started this craze. And 2 of the ones I could find, the TikToker who I think kind of had the most views or really got it going. The other recipe I could not find. So I apologize for that. If you know who originated that, I do like to give them credit. So please do so. So these are all viral recipes for ramen. And honestly, for me, ramen, and I was just talking to my niece about this, ramen was the stuff that had chicken broth, beef broth, maybe oriental broth, more soy-based. And it was just, it was just comfort food. It was high sodium. Like you kind of knew that. I used a lot of it in college because it was inexpensive. But what was cool about these ramen trends is I had no idea there was a spicy ramen. And so these all actually, a lot of them originated from this particular brand, Shin, which is a spicy Korean ramen. And that is what blew my mind. So I'm all of a sudden buying different kind of ramen to do these hacks. And so if you don't like spicy food, you might need to use less spice packet. And maybe it won't even be your cup of tea if you really don't like the spice. But anyways, we are enjoying this new thing. Like, it's so fun when you learn or find out about a new food that you're really enjoying. So I hope that some of this will intrigue you and you want to try it out on your own. So the one I'm going to start with, and I've gotten this up to boil, is one that's more, when you think of ramen, you think of soup. And so when you're talking about ramen hacks or ramen recipes, some of the ones that we're going to be doing aren't soups. They're more of like a stir-fry noodle. So the first one we're going to start with is a ramen soup. And the hack is this. So you would usually get one of these spicy Korean ramens, but so that I can make it for my sister, I'm going to use this, which is a millet and brown rice ramen, because of her being gluten-free. So I'm going to bring the green onions. We need green onions for all the recipes. They were a little fragrant, so I had, they're still fragrant. I think I'm going to keep them covered. So the water's going to come into a boil because it was already in a boil, and I'm going to put in the brown rice ramen. However, I'm not going to be using this packet. This packet, the flavor is a red miso soup. I'll give it to her to use for another time because I'm sure it's a delicious broth, but it's not going to serve our purposes. So the ramen soup is like a Kewpie mayonnaise, which I have not tried Kewpie. I've not bought it yet. I hear that it's supposed to be phenomenal. So in this recipe, you'd be using a spicy ramen. Again, I'm substituting the brown rice, but I do have the flavor packets because you can see we've been eating a lot, so I have extras. And I actually, in this, they don't specify, but I put both the dried vegetables and the spice packet in it. You will also need mayo, and I'm just using Hellmann's, and we always buy Hellmann's Light to save a little bit on the calories, but you could use Kewpie, which is what it calls for. It also will use some of the pasta water. It uses an egg, so we've got our egg here ready. Some minced garlic. I'm keeping it easy breezy, so I have some minced garlic right here. and some scallions, which we know are super hot and spicy. So I'm going to keep them covered because it's hurting my eyes today. So those are the ingredients, but this is what you're going to need to know. So I'm going to put the ramen in because the water is boiling, and you can see I've got my my camera set up for the shots at the stove, but I don't think anyone really wonders what it looks like to boil some ramen, so I'm just going to go ahead and not switch that shot right now. As you know, my last stream I forgot to switch it back, so my apologies. So I'm putting that in, and I want to just cook. I don't want to overcook that, so I'm just going to cook this for 2 minutes. Whoop. That's not what I want to do. There we go. It's gone. All right, start. Huh. There we go. 150. There we go. Okay, we're in business now. And I want to break these up a little bit just to make sure once they loosen up. And then in a bowl, what you're going to be doing is you are going to be mixing the garlic, the mayonnaise, egg, and the ramen seasoning. Just check this out. There we go. Down a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to crack my egg. And let me see, where's my fork? And then I'm going to be also adding mayonnaise, which it's just a tablespoon of mayonnaise. Just eyeball that. And let's see, garlic, mayo. Oh, the garlic, can't forget that. Gonna put a blob in there. And the ramen seasoning. Okay. So you can see I have all the ingredients there. I'm just going to mix that up. In fact, I bought a whisk. I'm going to use the whisk because that'll make it go much better. I'll add the dehydrated vegetables after I get this mixed up just to help get this smooth. Check on my ramen. Make sure it's separating. There we go. Now, in the TikTok recipes or the videos, sometimes they don't give a lot of details, so it's hard to see some of the nuances. And one of the things I noticed they do with the pasta water is they temper. There we go. They're supposed to be done, but these are not. These are also brown rice, so I think these take a little bit longer. But they temper the egg mixture because, you know, if you add hot water to eggs, they're going to start to scramble up on you. So I've mixed this, and it just has a red, see, it's just a red mixture. I'm going to add dehydrated vegetables to that. And I don't need my whisk anymore. Put that there. So I'm just going to get that mixed up. That is set to go. Put this right there. Check on my noodles. So I've not used these. These just are taking a little bit getting separated, which is interesting. I'm sure it's the brown rice and the millet, or millet. I don't know how we say that. Millet, I don't know. Do you know, Erica, how we say M-I-L-L-E-T?
I've always called it millet.
Millet? Okay. Yeah, these are
because
just...
everything's more complicated, gluten-free. I don't think it's French, so I would...
But it's good to know with this that these are going to take a little bit longer getting, you know, cooked up. There we go. So I'm just going to let this go a tad more. By the way, if you are joining us, feel free to say hello. Let me know you're joining and how you like to hack ramen. One of the things I like to do with ramen that is not at all Asian inspired is I actually like to make it into a simple cacio e pepe. If I have it around and I'm feeling like I just need a big pasta hit, not, you know, obviously ramen is not the kind of pasta we use for cacio e pepe usually, but I just save a little bit of the water after I get it cooked enough, and I add butter, a lot of pepper, and let it cook the rest of the way in that, and then I add some Romano cheese, and that makes that a really nice, quick, yummy hit. Okay, I just don't want to overcook these. So what I'm going to do is I am going to drain these and save the pasta water. Don't want to forget that. That pasta water has a lot of the goodness. So over here, I'm going to do it in front of you, actually. No, but I better do it in the sink. I don't want to create a mess. I'm going to actually save some of this pasta water first before it comes out. Because you want 500 milliliters of it. And then I'm going to drain the rest. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to get this water going for the next ramen, just so it can start boiling. Okay, so I'll get that back on the heat. So what I've done here is I have 500 milliliters, which is what the recipe calls for, of the pasta water. And I think it's a little over, but it's just a little bit over. That should be fine. And then this is the only part that's a little bit tricky, because I noticed in some of the videos, the TikTok videos, not the one that I originally saw it from, that I can't remember the name of the TikToker, but I don't think they tempered, I think they just poured it all in, and you can get some of the scrambling of the egg. So if you just pour a little bit in, kind of get used to the hot water first. That is really helpful, because then the eggs don't go crazy on you, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is put this in a larger bowl, which I could have just started in this bowl. I probably should have. That probably would have been smarter. So you can see what that looks like. And then I'm just gonna add the rest of the water and the noodles. So I got the noodles here. And the water, and it's going to make just this creamy ramen soup. And you see it's just a beautiful color. I'll show it to you up closer. And I'm actually going to stop because I think that's a lot of broth, which is really the good stuff. There we go. And it just has a creamier texture. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that beautiful color. And then we add some chopped fresh green scallions up top. And I think that was it. Let me just make sure there was it. Yeah, and that was it. So I'll see if my sister wants to come try it and see what she thinks. You brave? Do you want chopsticks or fork?
Fork.
Fork? Sounds good.
I don't do well with chopsticks.
No worries. Alrighty. Now it's gonna be hot. Let me get it. And you know what?
Try the broth first.
Yeah, try the broth first. And if you want to put a bite into here to cool, that might help too. And do you mind if I take a sip of the taste too? Make sure I know what it's supposed to taste like.
We need some. Oh my God, that's spicy. Oh my God. Okay.
Is it too spicy?
It's too spicy
okay.
for me. Wow. Glenn would love that though.
Well, maybe we can give. Oh, but that's the rice noodles.
That's okay.
No, we can after the stream. I can play around to.
But it has very nice flavor. It does not taste like normal ramen.
Okay, wow. Let me get a little. And what you could do is you could just take it out of the sauce. That might help too.
Okay.
Out of the broth. Try that. So we had ramen the other night. Remember the one the place I was telling you about, Terakawa? Mm-hmm. And the spicy ramen I would not recommend, because that was like even spicier than that. It was really spicy.
The noodles are good.
The noodles good?
Mm-hmm.
I was mentioning that came with that. It has like a red miso broth. So we could actually even make that and then maybe take some of this out. What do you think, Erica? Like, would that might mix nicely, a little miso with spice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's what we'll try to do. So just a little spicy. So actually it's good that you said that though, because maybe it's good to know for some people that don't like spice, this might be a little too much.
Spice, but that I've been messed up since.
No worries. I'm gonna put this here and we will figure out that, and we're gonna go on to our next. Thank you for trying it. We're gonna move on to our next ramen. What I liked about because we made that ramen or I made it once for myself for a meal, is it just having like the mayonnaise and the egg, it somehow just made it definitely gave it a creaminess that was just nice, that made it, I felt fuller longer. having that in there. Okay, so the next ramen, so it's spicy, so beware of that. The next ramen we are going to try is for my niece, and it's using, and this one, I do have the TikToker that I first heard about it from, and this one was at Doobie Doobap, or Doobop, no, I think it's Doobap, Doobie Doobap, and it's a ramen with chili oil. So instead of using the shin, I found one, it's green noodle, yakisoba, and so it's a vegan ramen, and it's spicy, because the main thing is I wanted to make sure that it was spicy for this recipe. So I think my water is boiling, and I'll tell you a little bit about the recipe before I begin. So with this one, we're going to be cooking the ramen. We're going to make sure and watch, just cook it for about 3 minutes because you don't want the noodles overcooked. We're going to rinse the noodles with cold water so they won't stick once we stir fry them, or not, we're not stir frying, but we're going to be tossing them with some hot oil. And, ooh, that's actually good, because I was just thinking I need to, I'm just thinking out loud, I can use that pot to heat up the oil when it's time. In it is going to go, in a bowl, we are going to be putting in here some ingredients. We're going to be putting in 2/3 the soup packet. We're going to put a pinch of black pepper, a half teaspoon of sesame seeds, or to taste, 1 teaspoon of black vinegar. I don't have black vinegar, so I'm just using rice vinegar. I looked at that would be a fine substitute. And some garlic, cloves, or my minced garlic, and then we'll set that aside. So, because what we're going to do is we're going to be adding hot oil to it, which is going to help everything bloom, and then we're going to toss the noodles with that. So I'm going to get my noodles in, and then we can get this mixture going. Okay, so the noodles went in. Let's set the timer so I don't forget about it. There we go. And then we are going to take, ooh, it's got lots of yummies. I think I'm going to leave the corn out, though. I'll get my scissors. Oh, this is interesting. Huh. So this has, well, I'm just going to take a look at this. I'm going to see what we're getting here, since I'm doing kind of a hack on one. Erica, do you mind watching the pasta and breaking it apart? Is that okay? Thank you. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So put that in there. 2/3. And this has some other seasoning. I'm going to set that aside. It looks more like a soy seasoning, which I don't know if that's going to necessarily go with the hack. Some of the stuff just came up. Wow. Okay. Oh, it smells good, but you know how when you get some spice in that area, it's like, woo. So to here, what we're going to be adding is the black pepper. The sesame seeds. Get good amount in there. Just get some of those in there. And then we've got some vinegar, about a teaspoonful. That should be good. And then garlic. This garlic is always good. There we go. And then I'm going to mix that up. And then we're going to be adding hot oil to this. So how do they seem? They seem like they're, because I wonder if these look like they're made of something different, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely green, some sort of veggie, and maybe.
Interesting. Is that what maybe the yakisoba is?
I'm just gonna grab
It's
one.
in Maine with morohecha.
I do not know. What
I do not know what that is either.
We're gonna.
Let's
No,
taste
they're
it.
not cooked yet.
Not cooked yet. Okay. All right.
It tastes like noodles though.
It tastes like noodles. There we go. So that's what the mixture just looks like. And again, we're going to be adding hot oil that's going to help kind of bloom that. And I don't even know if you need to mix that together or not. That's if you want to. Do you want to use chopsticks?
If we have them, I'm
Do
done.
we have them? Let me see.
I thought we.
Oh, yeah, we do.
used to.
Mm-hmm.
I might have taken them with me. That smell good.
Smell good? So this looks like, to me, it looks like soy and oil, right? Doesn't that look like that to you?
Oh, oops.
Yeah, that would be seasoning was sweet soy sauce, so sugar and soy sauce, molasses, sea salt, vinegar, and sesame oil.
Well, that you can always add if you feel like you need more seasoning. Interesting. Turn that off. That's good.
Maybe like 1 more minute. I think that would be good.
So, what's your favorite way to eat the regular ramen? Do you just like it as soup? Do you have any hacks you do with it?
I love soup, so I will pretty much always make it some sort of soup. But if I want to make ramen a meal, either tofu or edamame, depending on what I have on hand, because I need protein, and then
Absolutely.
frozen vegetables or spinach, really anything to add
And
to
keep
it.
it in the soup then.
Yeah,
Very
green
nice.
onions are great for topping.
Yes,
or
these
other
are
herbs.
really
They are.
hot.
Like I walked downstairs, I was like, whoa.
I know. These are hot. It's no joke. That's why we're just keeping the paper towel there.
I can try again to see. Yeah, every ramen cooks differently.
I know.
When I
It's
cooked the rice
interesting.
ones that you made for my mom, they always take so much longer than I expected, especially because rice noodles usually cook faster.
That's why I was actually afraid I was going to It's so funny you said that because I was afraid I was going to overcook them because rice noodles usually cook so fast. So it definitely threw me that it was cooking longer. Yeah, the millet probably makes the problem. And millet's just
Yeah, that's good.
Is it good? Okay, so we're gonna I'm gonna bring this back over here and I'm gonna. Oh, you're good. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. And I'm gonna make sure and rinse it with cold water so they don't stick. I'm gonna pour this out. And then meanwhile, I'm gonna get this heated up with the oil. So we're rinsing with cold water. You don't want anything sticking. Also, it stops the cooking, which is nice, so they don't overcook. Get those drained, and I'm gonna get this heated up for the oil. So we are right here. And we'll add. So the oil you add, by the way, let me look at the. Oh, I didn't write that down. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it says 2 tablespoons of oil, but to me, I don't like that much oil. So I did it with 1 tablespoon when I tried this with the shin. But that's kind of what I do. Anytime I read recipes, I usually will reduce the oil because a lot of times I find in a lot of recipes not that it doesn't make it yummy, but I just feel like, oh, that's just a lot of oil. All right, so we're gonna let that get hot because you want to pour the oil when it's just before the smoking point, and then you'll do your mixing. Get a new pair of tongs. Oh, those are big. I felt like I'd seen another little one. Yeah, I got those. I thought there was no one. I'm just gonna wash these.
If that was just for the noodles, not touching the sauce, they're fine.
I don't remember, so I'm just gonna make sure. Just wanna make sure. And I'm gonna get all this water out of here. I didn't see anything on them, but
I appreciate it.
of course. Oh, it is ready. Boy, that was quick. So then this is what's interesting. Let me bring these over. And you want to be careful, obviously, anytime you're dealing with hot oil, you want to be careful. And then listen, I'm going to be very quiet. Did you hear that? That is the oil doing its job. And this is what I used for. And I'm just going to mix it in, and it's cooking it's not cooking the spices, it's blooming the spices. And it's also getting that garlic even yummier. And then all we do is we add our noodles and we toss. And then I'll add the green onions on top. Now, the recipe, when I made it with the shin, the recipe calls for a fried egg on top. So that is delicious, but I'm making this vegan, so we are not going to be using an egg. So, but you could put some fried tofu on top. That would be yummy. There we go. Okay, Miss Erica. You can give it a try. I got you chopsticks.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. I think I have it going right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get water in this so we can get this going.
There we go.
For our third ramen.
Yeah, they've got really good flavor. Very
Is it-
different than what I've had before. Do you
Do you
mind?
mind if I try? Just
No, of course.
I'm just curious with the specifically. Okay, it's beyond me. There we go. That's ramen. You think you're like at the end and there's still.
Yeah, how to
ramen.
gracefully eat ramen on camera.
Oh, it has good flavor though.
Very unique.
Very nice. All right. So that is the second kind of ramen. So again, if you wanted to make it non-vegan, you would use with the shin, and you would put a fried egg. And again, it could be any spicy Korean ramen that you wanted to use. This is just the one that is usually the easiest to find. All right. So then the last one is one we haven't tried before. So it's different. And I did notice, because I think it's funny, when I made this Erica with the shin and I cooled the noodles, the oil heated up really quick, and this time it didn't heat it, which was interesting because we had it for dinner one night with the fried egg, and I know it wasn't the egg that did it, so I don't know. So you could always warm that up, or maybe just add it to, the pot, because I did notice that one got cooled off more. But in any event, so then the last one is from @food52, and this one caught my eye because it was very different. So we have not tried this one yet, and my son Matt's going to be the guinea pig on this one to try it. And it uses the spicy ramen, but we're gonna be sautéing it in some butter, garlic, red pepper flakes. So you're going to set aside the spice packet and not use that for this instance, and brown sugar. And some sesame seeds. And then you're going to, after that gets sauteed in, you're going to lightly beat an egg and cook that next to it, and then toss that in. So it's going to be like some scrambled egg put into the noodle mixture. So this is more of a stir fry. So we're going to use our camera for that once we get to that point. And then you can top it with some scallions on top, so which is why we have all of our scallions. So this one is going to be a little interesting. So I'm just going to, while I'm waiting for that to get ready, I'm going to get our brown sugar ready, because I think it's a tablespoon of brown sugar. And that's 1.5. Let me see here. So Matt, how do you think this is going to taste? Oh, I just mentioned it's got brown sugar, so there's going to be a little sweetness. It uses red pepper flakes for the spice. And, where'd it go? I have too many ramen recipes in here. Butter, uses butter, and butter adds a nice flavor. Garlic, but yeah, Matt likes butter. Only bacon would surpass the butter. But we're going to have an egg beaten, almost scrambled into it.
Oh, it's scrambled.
Yeah, it's scrambled.
Bacon grease be good substitute for butter?
What would that?
Bacon grease.
Oh, that would be amazing. So everything's better with butter except for bacon. Bacon's better than butter. Okay, so I'm going to tidy this up a little bit. And while we're waiting for the water to boil. And we'll see. So you'll have to let me know how you like ramen, by the way. This week on Wednesday will be the cocktail stream, and we're going to be doing palomas, and that'll be 7:30 on Wednesday. I think we're back to our 7:30 time, and next weekend, I forget what I'm doing next weekend, so I will have to think about that, see if I can remember what I'm streaming next weekend. But please make sure and follow me on on Twitter is Philly Live, so that you can be in the know about my schedule, about any changes when I'm going live streaming. And just, I have a great community there on Twitter with so many other foodies that share all great recipes and great food and places that they've been to. So it's just, it's really fun on food Twitter. So that's interesting as well. But do follow me for any information. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe so that you're always in the know about when I'm doing any streams. So let's see. I think we're almost there.
Blueberry buckle.
Thank you. See, sisters look out for each other. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. So it's blueberry buckle, which is a recipe our mom made all through our childhood, and she was well known for. So I'm very excited, and I'm hoping to get some Jersey blueberries in there. So my water is boiling, and I'm going to get my ramen in. And of course, we do not need the spice packet, so I'm going to just set it aside because we know there's lots of goodness in there. And did you want the crumbs here, Mr. Maddie? Okay. So Matt, are you going to tell like what you do with ramen? Can you come on and say hello and tell your thing? Because I'd never heard of what you do. You were telling your cousin about.
This is not very classy.
Oh,
Eating ramen.
it doesn't have to be classy if it's snacky.
Okay, so what I've done a lot at college is I kind of like the crunchy ramen. So I'll get, like some cheap pack of ramen, like, Top Ramen, or what's the other brand? It's like Maruchan or...
Yeah, Maruchan.
And I'll just break it up into like, bite-sized pieces, toss it all in a bowl, and like sprinkle the, like, what would you call it? Like the seasoning packet.
Yeah, seasoning packet.
And then just kind of shake the heck
And
out of it.
which one do you usually have? Do you have the chicken or the beef?
No,
It's just whichever.
whatever.
But they're not spicy. Spicy be a whole other game.
So it gets like a light coating on all of like these little pieces, and then I just snack on the pieces. So what?
How does it stick to it?
Just kind of does.
So you don't
It's like static electricity, probably. Like, I don't know.
But you mentioned that, because I was saying to him there was such a sodium overload, but you mentioned that a lot of it
most of it falls
down.
at the bottom, yeah. So it really ends up
makes
just being
sense.
like a light seasoning. But yeah, it's a nice little snack.
That was interesting, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and get this butter melted because these are getting near done. And do you mind switching the screen for me, Maddie?
What am I doing?
Left front. Put the screen on the stovetop. I'm also going to move the egg over there, so we have that. I'm going to move some of our ingredients over because I know we're going to need them right here. All right, so I've got my brown sugar.
Can I throw this back out?
Yep, I can throw that out. And I said it was from @Food52, the one who had this recipe. Okay. Oh, I need my garlic. Don't want to forget my garlic and my sesame seeds. Bring those over there. Okay. Garlic and soy sauce.
You don't have to duck.
Brown sugar, pepper flakes. Okay. We're almost there, so we hopefully can get our butter going. So we will not need the water for this. But of course, pasta water, even ramen pasta water, it has so much goodness because there is so much starch in there that it helps make great sauces. Helps them come together. Our butter's finally going. Okay, so what do you think? With these ingredients, you think it's going to taste good? Matt?
Also, you have a chatter.
Ooh!
DS.
Hi, DS. How are you? Good to see you. I can't see you, but good to have you hop on. Yes, ramen is so versatile. I agree. Asian is a great food. Oh my gosh. And there's so many versions. Like we were just talking on the ride up here. Thai restaurants, Japanese, like there's just so many different versions. We were talking about drunken noodles, right, Erica? I'd not had drunken noodles until this past year, and oh my gosh, those are amazing. So my butter's almost getting ready. So I'm going to drain my noodles because I do not want them to overcook. Thank you for joining, by the way. I'm going to turn off that burner. We don't need that anymore. Get these well done, and I think then, so let me just check this recipe again. So, and I need to rinse the noodles so they don't stick. Okay, look at this rinse. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to add to my butter is I'm going to add some garlic and soy sauce. So I used, let me get this here.
Are these mine?
Yes, those you can use. I figured you'd want to use them. Okay, so I'm gonna get some garlic and soy sauce. So I have my soy sauce. I might need to add more soy sauce because I don't know if that's quite what we need. And it's a little warm, so I'm gonna lift this up. Ooh, I've never smelled that combination. Butter, soy sauce, and garlic. I'm just not used to it being butter as the base.
Also, hello, Good Eats.
Oh, hello, Good Eats. Thank you for joining. All my Twitter family coming on. Okay, so we've got the butter and the soy sauce and the garlic all nice, and then we're going to add some brown sugar and some red pepper flakes to taste. So, what do you think, Matt? I want you to help me with how much of this to add.
Oh, I mean, I can take heat, so it's fine.
Is that good? More? It's yours. You tell me.
That's what we put in. Like, I don't know.
We can always add more. So the red pepper flakes are to taste. And I just want to get this all nice and bubbly before I add my noodles. And I can see that this is going to be a little dry, so I think I am going to need to add some more soy sauce. Will you pass the soy sauce over here? Thank you. Add a little more soy sauce. Yeah, because I don't think that was quite a tablespoon. Get that all incorporated. And then we're going to just add our noodles. Turn down my heat a little bit. So we get the noodles in there. And we're going to get those all seasoned up. Put that in. Yeah. Okay, get that. I think I turned down that heat too soon.
Never enough soy sauce.
Never enough soy sauce. Yeah, it looks a little light brown for me. Okay, so we sauteed this up. I'm getting that heat back up so I can cook my egg. And just cook it right in the pan.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
You might want to move the soy sauce.
Oh, thank you. So you get that cooked up. And then we're going to toss it with the noodles. It was funny, when I watched this on another TikToker do it, it just looked drier definitely, but it looked browner. So I'm not sure why that difference, but you know, everyone has different ingredients. So get this all scrambled up nicely. And it is whizzing. And they really got it scrambling before they combined it. Not that that matters, but I'm going to just let it get a little firmer before I combine it with the rest of the pasta. I think their pan was hotter. I was just getting worried that it was too much was going to evaporate.
No.
I wasn't going to have it be saucy enough. Okay, so now I'm going to get this all together. Try to get those eggs in there. So as I mentioned, this has the ingredient of the brown sugar, which I just find so interesting. That and the butter, what this is going to make this taste like. All right. So how do you guys who are watching, how do you like to eat your ramen? What's your favorite way? And what kinds of ramen? What brands do you prefer? All these TikToks, ramen recipes brought me up to Shin, which I'd never had. I'm going to turn off this heat, and I'm going to add some sesame seeds, and I'll add the green onions on top. So I'm going to get your bowl. So let me know how you like it, because I think one of the things, I'm not on TikTok, but one of the things I like about it is just all the sharing of people's recipes, which is kind of what we do on Twitter also. But I think the videos get very enticing, you know, when you see the videos. Here we go. Oh, this smells good. Smell it. It does smell really good. Wow.
Good with scrambled eggs in my noodles. However, I prefer a 6-minute jammy egg. I love soft yolk, but that's me.
I'm with you on the soft yolk. In fact, I think this one would be interesting to try with a jammy egg on top. Okay, so now I'll give you, is that okay?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Do you want to use it? Fingers? Yeah. I'll use this. I'll let you try first. So this one we have not tried. The other two we tested. And again, we tested them just the original way, but today we showed the one gluten-free and we showed the other one vegan.
Well, they're piping hot.
So after the stream is done, we've got very hungry husbands outside and they're going to tell us which one they want. Is it, what do you think? Is it good?
No.
This one I was just suspect of. Oh, it is good.
Yeah.
I mean, what could be wrong? Like
Yeah.
what you're putting in there, putting
Exactly.
butter, garlic, soy sauce. Wow.
So this is mine?
Yeah.
All right.
That is good. Definitely try that one. And the other ones, we've already made, actually, Matt, the one that we did, the one I did for Erica that we put the fried egg on, you've had that multiple times since I made that the first time. That's like his go-to now. And it does have that jammy egg. It is so delicious. So make sure and try that one. But that one's really interesting. Like it just the flavors of the brown sugar and the spice and the butter and the soy. Very intriguing in the egg. So that is the ramen. Yes. So good eats. I would totally eat this though. I would love a quick, yes, I agree. And I would add veggies. So you'll have to try the soup one that I did first. Where you made, especially, I always think with for me, when I have a soup, it's just so easy for me to pack in the veggies there. And I think you were, Erica, talking about that too, what you do for your soup. So the soup version of the ramen, which had the mayonnaise, the egg, and then the spice packet and garlic, I feel like I could add, because there's so much broth, I could add so many good veggies in there to make a really healthier soup. But yes, the fried egg is the way to go. Well, thank you guys for joining. Again, on Wednesday, it's the day I actually come back from the lake. So I will be doing the cocktail stream on the Paloma, which is a delicious summer cocktail. And with one of my favorite, oh, thank you. See, I forgot that. We're losing him. He's moving in a couple weeks, so I'm not going to have the person check in for me, but thank you. That's what I have to remember to make sure my views are all showing. But in any event, the Paloma is Wednesday at 7:30. Next weekend I'm making blueberry buckle, which is a recipe my mom used to make during childhood that everyone would rave about. So I'm excited. I haven't had that in years. So very excited to make that. That'll be on the weekend. Thank you for joining me. Be sure to follow and like, and have a great weekend. I know the weather right here is beautiful. I hope the weather is nice where you are. And until we eat again, see you next time.